Today we're going to do a video about something that is very taboo in France. We never talk about money. Actually, Anglo-Saxons are more free to talk about money, how it costs. And to be honest, as I wasn't born in a family with a castle or a house like this, then I was always super curious to know how much it costs. How can you do to imagine that someday maybe if I do this job or I do this, maybe I can achieve my dream. And actually, if I found one day a video telling me like how much things cost, I would have been so happy and reassured that maybe it's possible. Today we're going to talk about this if you want. About the price of a house. When you want to buy a castle in France, is not that expensive, meaning like it represents a lot of money for most of the people, but it's not the main part. You can find a house on the market for less than €1 million. And this one, for example, was in an auction. It was a family, the father died 30 years ago, and the heirs were like fighting like very often in this old family because it was more or less the same family for the last 1,000 years. And they were fighting over the house. Some wanted to sell, some didn't want to, and there were like 11 people. And these 11 people were fighting and they went to court, and the court decided, okay, the house needs to be sold. Then it was an auction. And it was an auction with the house, one lot with the house, and 20 hectares more or less, and many other lots with like hundreds of hectares of land around. And when we arrived at the auctions, it was not much advertising around it, but when we arrived, it was like a lot of people over there. Then I was like, okay, I'm never gonna get that house. But we arrived and they started with the lands around. It was for agriculture lands, and then it was like 1 million, 2 million, 3 millions, and people were getting crazy, putting so much money in these lands. And then it was like the lot number 1, the lot number 2, and the lot number 3 was the house. And then they were giving like the first price, and then I was the first one saying like, okay, me. And then it was a blank, and no one bid on top of me. Then actually I was the only one, and 5 minutes later they said, okay, this is for you, sir. And I was like owner of a house like this without even fighting for it. Then that was pretty nice, and I was very happy because at the time the money I had, I didn't have much extra money on the first price they gave, and that's how I became owner of this house for 675,000 euros. And I had to pay, I had to see with the bank pretty quickly, because when you do an auction, you need to pay within 30 days. Which is like impossible when you do a loan, and I did one. Then I had 30 days, and my bank was super effective for that, and they could give me the money for the 30th day, and I could get the house. That's how it worked. But definitely can find houses, very nice houses like this around Paris, around like in a perimeter like in Normandy. Here we are on the eastern part. This is less fashionable than the western part, which is more like Normandy, where you have beautiful houses too. That's why probably it was a bit cheaper, but people were not interested in buying this house apparently. Neither the previous owner, by the way. The part of the family who wanted to keep the house didn't bid neither for that. But that's how I got this house. So far, I have people working here every day. They are living here, and they are doing the little renovations, the little pavilion at the entrance, the maintenance of the park. I have a gardener, which is is the guy who is agriculture and is living in the village close by, and is maintaining. Pascal is maintaining the garden, and during the winter is doing the wood, and the summer is cutting the grass because it rains a lot this year. Then it's going to be a lot of grass everywhere, and we need at least to lawn the grass like 2 times a week. And about the construction and renovations, the cost is pretty high. For instance, for the Château, the quotation was about like $1.5 million, and you can expect from the government to have something like 50%. This is for the Château. But after, there is also helps for the facade, for the windows and for the roof, and also for this big room that is listed. Not all the castle is listed. The exterior is, but the interior, only this staircase and the kitchen that is downstairs is listed. Then I can pretend having some help from the government for the renovation of this part, which is going to be a big help. Then you have a lot of administrative part to do, but yes, if you are like well supported and you have a good architect that presents a nice project, and also if you open you have some conditions, of course. If you open the house to the visits at least 2 months a year in the summer moment period, then the people can come and it's more like a museum. Then the government is more happy to help you, of course, because it's not only for you, it's also for the people around, and this makes more sense. I hope I answer most of your question in terms of money and how it costs. Of course, there's more specific information I can give you. I will try to, if you like, I will try to integrate a little bit of this information, economical information, in all the other videos. But if you have more questions, you can put some comments, and we will try to put that on the next videos. À bientôt.